Hey y'all, this is Joe out at St. Bernard Acres. Well, I'm here in Wheeling, but from St. Bernard Acres. Y'all might remember I bought this chainsaw from Craigslist for $40. Never been used. The guy put it together, was getting ready to use it for a little bit of work, broke his knees or his legs or something, and rode around with it in his trunk forever, and finally decided to sell it. So one of the things I noticed that he did was he had the chain and the bar on backwards. So I'm going to fix that first off. I guess it's good he didn't get to use it. And it's really quite simple to fix. I already used the scrunch that came with it to loosen these up, so I'm going to go ahead and take them. They're just finger tight now. Got to take this cover off without gloves. These are my free leather gloves from Marlboro. Part of the trail maintenance gear promotion they were having, so Gail got me a free pair of leather gloves. Pull this off so you can see everything right here. This just will work itself completely free and be able to turn it around the way it's supposed to be and get it. Make sure it's in the channel of the bar. This is where gloves will come in handy, because that is very sharp. So let me put my gloves back on and try this. I'm trying to hold the saw back at an angle. Make sure I'm in the channel of the bar. Put it around the okay. So I'm in my channel. I'm around the sprocket that's going to turn the thing. Put the top back on, or the cover. Put the nuts back on. I've never fired this thing up. It's never had gas in it before. So that's what's going to be interesting to see if it even fires up. And that's, you don't want the chain too tight, but you don't want it too loose. You don't want it to be able to pop out of there. So that's pretty good right there. I'm going to tighten it down because I'm just simply starting. I'm not going to be cutting anything tonight. Just seeing if it runs, because I'll be taking it out and using it. Alright, that's the way it's supposed to look. So brake's on, nothing's going to move. Without the brake, you can see it moves. Has a little bit of play. That's what we want, I think. So that part of it's done. And let me go on record as saying this. This is a Poulan, however you want to say it. I know there are steels out there. There are Husqvarnas, and everybody's like, oh, you should have this, you should have that. You know what? This was $40. It's probably going to get used 3 times a year, 4 times a year. I got a couple trees I need to take down, and maybe cut up a little bit of firewood for the cabin. That's the extent of it. If you don't think I should be using this, you think I should be using a steel or a Husqvarna, by all means, my address is in the description. Send me one. I'll be happy to use it for you. But as long as I'm buying it, this is what I can afford to buy. And I think it's going to work fine for what I need it to do. I'm not going to be logging, you know, nothing like that. I'm just cutting a few trees down. Cutting up some firewood maybe. So I'm going to put some bar and chain oil in here to protect this. Fill that up. This is a P3816. 38cc motor, 16-inch bar. Alright. Plenty of oil. Bar and chain oil. Seal that back up. Takes a lot. It takes more than what I thought it was going to take. Then get my gas. This is 1 gallon of gas, and this takes a 40-to-1 mixture. So this is Troy built 40-to-1. I don't think it makes a difference. This is Poulan 2-stroke engine oil, smokeless formula with stabilizer. So I'll stick that in here and mix it with it for its first tank. And it's 3.2 ounces to the gallon, which is exactly what it needs. My weed eater, unfortunately, is a 50-to-1 mixture. Now, I did see at Lowe's, they sell a multiple mixture. It's good for 40-to-1, 50-to-1, I think 32-to-1. Whether that's any good or not, I don't know. I've got to check some reviews on it. Otherwise, I'll stick with buying this stuff. But again, I'm not going to be using it much. So, the gas is going to go in here. Yeah. That's never had a tank of gas in it. I love these new gas nozzles. All right. Alright, we have a tank of gas. Now, if I can start it. I'm not going to try to start it on here. I'm going to put it on the ground and try to start it. So, let me find a spot. It's been raining so much lately. Let me move the camera over to where I'm going to try to start this thing and see what we get. So I'll start by showing you. This is your choke. You pull that out, and that engages the on switch. You pull your choke out till it starts, and when you push your choke in, that kicks off the choke. To turn this off while it's running, you know, once it's started, you just hit that, and it turns it off. But that's, pull your choke out, there's your primer button. Those are for adjusting the carburetor. I don't know if it'll need adjusting or not, but I'm going to try to start it now, and we'll see what happens. So, choke is out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is what they say to do. Get your foot in there. Alright, so there you go, it started. I need to get it out, get me an adjusting tool. It's a little, if I took all this cover off I could show you, it's a little spine, almost socket like, that you need to adjust the fuel. And I'll have to play with that a bit, loosen this up a bit. But it is oiled. It does do that, and I think it's going to work. A little hard to start. I mean, I've had it sitting for, geez, 8 months since I bought it, and I think it's going to work for what we need it to do. What the heck? So I'll be able to take it out this weekend and cut some firewood. Maybe, well, if it stops raining. It's done nothing but rain since Sunday. In fact, it rained most all day today. It stopped for a while. It's supposed to start again in a couple hours, and we're under a flash flood watch until I think 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So nothing but rain, and rain all day tomorrow. So I don't know how much I'll get to go out and work on the cabin, because we're back to being dependent on what the weather does. But I know some people had asked about if I'd fired this thing up yet, how it worked. So there you go. It does work. I just had to play with it a bit. So, hope you all enjoyed this. That is all.